So that's the title of tonight's episode, and I know a lot of people have been wondering, why are we talking about Peeta's cane? It wasn't in the movie. What are you talking about? Well, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, some people on Tumblr started to post pictures of this. It's really pretty interesting, actually. And on our promo for tonight's show, we have a link to a big screen cap of it, thanks to Crystal. At the very end of the movie, when Peeta and Katniss are returning, or when they have returned to District 12 and are standing on the train, waving and all of that, you can see Peeta holding what appears to be some kind of a walking stick or cane. So a lot of people have been wondering, did he actually lose his leg? Are they going to incorporate his missing leg into Catching Fire? A lot of people were upset that his leg was not as severely injured as it was in the book, just because the fact that he does have an artificial leg later on, I think, is really interesting. And it just adds another element to his character. And the way that his leg healed in the first movie, it really seemed like they were downplaying that. Shylah, I know that you are a big proponent of Peeta's missing leg. Do you think that this is a walking stick? And do you think that it is a sign of anything, or do you think that it's just there because he had a limp?
I think I can't speak because I'm not in Gary Ross's head. I think he was trying to leave the door open for maybe exploring that in Catching Fire. Maybe he didn't feel like there was enough time at the end of the Hunger Games to explore that. I think, and I know I've talked to Crystal about this, the movie ends really abruptly after the arena. There's like 5 minutes and then we're at the end. So maybe he wanted to leave the door open for himself or someone else to explore it in the second movie. I'm glad that it's there. It was a nice little detail at the end, but the fact that it wasn't really highlighted makes me think that it's just a little throwaway. I doubt he has the artificial leg. I think maybe we might see him limping a little bit, but I don't think it's going to touch anywhere near what the books did.
Any other thoughts, anybody?
Yeah, I agree. I like that, the door is open for that. I'm glad that it's there as opposed to not being there. I mean, every Tuesday, Tiff and Denise and I play trivia, and our team's name is Peeta's Fake Leg, so I'm a fan.
Courtney, a lot of people could infer a number of things from that title. I don't know about...
It's fake leg, not third leg.
Let me ask you this question. All things considered, all right, we talked about the Peacekeepers and the possible change of uniforms. How would you all have felt if suddenly in the second movie Peeta actually was walking around on now, things had gone exactly the way they were in the book from this point? Would you all be okay with that if he basically lost his leg?
Actually, it would make me happy.
I think it would be awesome. I think they'll have a hard time justifying it because he was not gravely injured in the arena.
The only way that they could go back and have him have an artificial leg is if they have a flashback to go back and film him losing his leg and put it in the second film. But I don't think they're doing that unless they are really filming everything.
What if they have the behind-the-scenes footage and, right before he's about to go on to an important scene, in typical acting tradition, someone says, break a leg, and then that actually is what happens?
No comment.
Just saying. It does come up.
I'm looking at this picture, though, and are we sure it's a walking stick?
No, absolutely not. But, it looks like it is. I don't know what else it could be. A few people commented on our post and said maybe it's a microphone. Why would he be holding... Why, though? Why would he have a microphone?
I don't know. They don't say anything when they're standing on that platform to the crowd. Or maybe they did shoot them saying something to the crowd and they cut it out. If
you watch the scene, the way that he sort of shifts, it really does look like it's a cane, but it very well might be something else. We really can only see the handle.
Is it an issue? It's been a while since I've read Catching Fire. I need to read it again. But is that an issue when they're escaping the fog that Peeta has a difficult time running away?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a huge factor.
I mean, I don't know. I guess I could just literally just throw that. Well, I guess not literally, but throw it out the window, because literally throwing out the window would be hilarious. Okay, I'm sorry. But I don't know. I guess they could ditch that, but then maybe they will use that.
How are they going to justify him being unable to handle things physically in the arena because he had an artificial leg in the book, and now he doesn't?
Well,
they're just going to...
Yeah, sorry, go. Keep going.
How? Does anyone have any ideas how they're going to get around this?
Well, they also they're going to have to do something else, because that's the whole reason that Peeta's not with Katniss in the end, because he can't run as fast. And that's why they get separated. They're going to have to do something else.
I'm starting to think like maybe during training back home he does break his leg and he has a broken leg. Or he's still healing. What is he going to do?
Maybe they'll chalk it up to him being electrocuted, and that somehow it incapacitates his ability to be as active as he should be.
Like maybe he has some nerve damage, and like part of his something is just not working. He's not working. His body's not working.
Yeah, and
somebody from production just call us and tell us what the hell is going on right now. No.
I mean, that's it. So because of his leg situation, he has a tough time escaping the fog, and that's why Mags dies, basically, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like they'll have to change that up somehow if his leg isn't an issue.
Or Mag's leg.
Well, at least two people on Twitter are saying that it was the fact that he was hit the force field was the reason he couldn't run.
Okay,
fine. We'll hope that that's the direction that they take it.
It would crack me up if they took it out because they thought, it could be too difficult to incorporate that in the next movie. And they thought, but what about this one scene? Nobody will notice that.
Yes, we will.
I fear completely that is what has happened.
It's one of those little things that bugs me, just because we don't have a lot of heroes in pop culture who are disabled or missing limbs, and I think that's just a really neat component of Peeta. So I don't know, it does bug me that they just decided to get rid of that, assuming that they have gotten rid of it. I think
we have another missing limbed person in the film, unless they decide that he doesn't have a missing limb either.
It took me a second to figure out who you were talking about. I'm like, huh? But yeah, it wouldn't be too hard. I mean, to me, he's barely in the movie. Like, they can make it look like he has a missing arm or hand or whatever, but he dies. So,
what about actors making sacrifices for the role? Should Josh Hutcherson get amputated for the sake of playing the role to its purest form? Wouldn't that be awesome?
Meta Golding should go get vampire teeth or whatever, shark teeth.
Well, it brings up, as jokey as it brings up an interesting point. Is a lot of people said when the movie first came out that maybe they just didn't want Josh to have to limp through the next two movies. Maybe that would have been too difficult. But there's that little girl from Game of Thrones, Arya. She learned her character is left-handed in the book. She's right-handed, but she learned she uses a sword, all of her sword play left-handed because she was dedicated to the character. And I mean, if acting is your profession, I don't think it's too much to ask Josh to limp through, the next 6 hours of my movie.
I did not know that about Maisie
Williams. Left-handed? Wow.
Yeah.
Major
power to Maisie Williams and to Shylah for sharing that awesome insight. That was great.
That's a really good point, Shylah.
I feel like maybe this is awful, but I remember that there was an interview or something at some point in which they were talking about, I think, making Peeta seem less weak, and I feel like this may have been a choice to make him not be such a weak figure, which I think is stupid.
That choice may completely backfire on them, because if they're gonna give him like a limp, or they're going to have him be electrocuted and then he can't take care of himself, that's going to be like, well, why can't you just get over this? Instead of, oh, he has an artificial limb. Yes, this is going to affect him, but there are other aspects to his life where it just doesn't affect him at all.
And it's the completely backwards way to look at Peeta and Peeta's characterization, because he's not strong because he's physically strong. That's
Agreed.
You know, the way that Suzanne Collins builds him is that the Capitol can chip away at some of the other things, these physical aspects. You know, they take away his physical strength, and he's still Peeta because of his heart and his soul. And so to say that those things are what make him weak, and that it's just the wrong way to look at things. Stop it, Lionsgate. Give him a fake leg and let him limp his way through Catching Fire and Mockingjays and into my heart.
He was already there. He was already there. He lives in your heart.
Always.